Alright, so I'm going to talk about some of the delusions that I have and some of the paranoia that I experience on a daily basis. Um, to get a understanding of some of the paranoid delusions that I have to understand the paranoia in general. Mine focuses around persecutory, and if I said that wrong, I apologize. Um, type of situations. So, for example, if I hear my coworkers, if I hear them laughing, I automatically assume, no matter what the context is that they are laughing at me. There is something that they witnessed me do, or that they were snooping through my files on my computer, or they were looking at some code that I had written, and they were laughing at me, or even they ended up finding some information online about me, and they were having a chuckle as a result. It always focuses on me. Um, Sometimes I feel like no matter what I do, I'll get fired. So a big thing for me is like when I'm working, I can't do different things. Otherwise, I think someone's gonna notice it and then tell my boss and I'll get fired. So an example would be, I'm working on the computer for 3 hours. I'm freaking tired. I wanna check a news site. So I go to like MSNBC or whatever .com to like see what the hell's going on in the world. And like for about 5 seconds, it's pretty cool. It's like, oh yeah, all right, yeah, take a little bit of break. It's nice, all right. And then like I start getting all this. I start getting antsy as fuck. It's like, um, I start feeling like there's people around me that are watching this and they're like writing it down, and they're gonna tell my boss and I'm slacking off. So eventually, like the anxiety gets too much that like I can't do it. Um, and I like to listen to a lot of podcasts on my iPhone, and so like I'll sit there on my phone. Once one's done, usually they're like an hour. So like once one's done, I go into another one, flipping through, maybe I'll check my personal email, whatever, on my phone, and go ahead and grab the next podcast. I'll hit play, and that probably lasts like I don't know, 15, 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds at max. And so while I'm doing that, like I'm like hyper vigilant of everything that's going on around me, because I think people are thinking that I am slacking off and that basically I am a bad person because here I am, I'm wasting time, um, trying to make myself comfortable. so like, I hear a furious noise, so like someone might kick their desk or something by accident, and I think, okay, well that's obviously a sign that they see me fucking up, and that I should go back to work. So like I start going back to work. What happens a lot is like um, I'll hear one of my teammates, he'll like cough, and it's not like a like I don't, it's more like I don't. It's like I picture it as the type of cough that says, "Hey, guess what? You need to get your ass back to work," kind of a thing, like I don't know, one of those types of coughs. Um, so I mean, none of this is like necessarily completely like justifiable at all, but it's still shit that goes on inside my mind. Goes on inside my mind. It goes beyond that because it's usually focused on me being a bad person, me getting fired. I'm a terrible person. Nobody likes me. Um, and that's pretty much it. I mean, that's kind of what goes in there. And then I have some like general paranoia about, like today I walked into the office And like I was like walking up the stairs, like, God, that's a really loud sound. Like, what the hell is it? I'm just trying to walk my desk, and like I like look up, and it's and the air conditioning ventilation is like, I don't know. I guess it kicked in overdrive, and it just sounded like it was, in overdrive basically. And like for some reason, the first thing I thought of was, I bet you they're gonna try to poison us today. And I wouldn't say like I was like completely and totally convinced of something like that. Um, but it was definitely something that popped in my mind. Oh yeah, no. Huh. Here's here's some paranoid shit that's been happening ever since. Well, actually, well, any particular news item that comes in. Um, so like, let's go back in time to the I think it was the Aurora movie shootings or something like that. I hope that's the right one. Anyway, so when that crazy guy walked in that movie theater and started shooting people. Um, so like now I don't like to wait in lines because I think that like I start scanning people. Okay, like is this person gonna shoot me? Is this person gonna shoot me? Like I start like identifying the threats. You know what I mean? Um, Same thing with like when Newtown shooting happened. Um, I started getting like hyper vigilant. Oh, I still am hyper vigilant about it. So like if I hear something that's just kind of like off key, just something that's kind of weird, like stop, like listen. Okay, is that gunfire? Okay, so if it is gunfire, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna get away? What's the best thing to do? Okay, at this particular scenario, all right, how am I gonna be able to get up and get out? What if they're over here? All right, how am I able to get around them and all this like um, it's not it's not good because obviously like it's preoccupying the shit out of my mind. Um, so yeah, I mean that's kind of some of the paranoia that I have, and then it becomes completely and totally delusional um, to some degree. So this week I was entirely, completely convinced that earlier this week on Wednesday, um, I was going to get fired. 100% totally convicted or convinced that that was going to happen. And the reason why is because one of my paranoid beliefs was basically like reinforced. Like it really happened. So like I started this job and I feel like I'm not really up to snuff. Like when they hired me, they were obviously looking for someone who had a couple more years experience than I did. So like I'm kind of like treading water as it is. I'm like taking on new shit, and I'm like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Um, so combined with the paranoia and everything else that's going on in my life, like it's all consuming. Like I drown in it, and one of my coworkers, I typically have my earbuds in, and that's kind of basically just for appearance, which is fucked up, and this falls into the paranoia. Mostly just for appearance, so that I could hear the conversations that are happening around me to find out that if they are indeed actually talking about me. And on this particular day, um, two of my coworkers were talking about me. They actually like legitimately were completely and totally talking about me. Like they were like looking right at me. Um, well, kind of looking right at me. They were off in their cubicle, and I know they were looking over here. And they said, well, one of the guys was like, well, I mean, as a programmer, it's really, really hard for you to get fired. I mean, look at him. We we hired a junior programmer for a senior level position. And then he was like, the other guy was like, shh, he might be able to hear you. And then the guy who had said that was like, no, he can't hear you. He's got his earphones in. And then I was like, what the fuck? So, like, all my paranoid beliefs were completely and totally, like, reinforced. Like, I knew this shit. Like, these people fucking hate me. Like, I'm doing a shitty job. I'm gonna get fired. This is bullshit. I hate it. I fucking hate it. So, like, I took my earbuds out, and then their conversation ended. Like, they left. So, like, I let that fester, and I just started, like, contemplating, like, all this fucked up shit, like, everything I could have possibly have fixed in one way, shape, or form. And it just turned and turned and turned in my mind. And it was like, it's gonna happen. Like, it's gonna totally happen. And then, like, there was, like, this moment when I was just like, fuck, it would be so great if it actually happened. Like, I would love that. I'd feel so good, and then at the same time, it's like, there's another part of me that's like, oh fuck, like, I'm gonna get fired, like, this is terrible, like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened. And then, like, the other side of me is like, fuck it, like, actually, if I want to get you the opportunity to get a new damn job with starting out fresh, and maybe with some better people or something. So I walked in the office the following week, and I was like, okay, so this shit's gonna happen. Obviously, I'm gonna get fired. And if I don't, then it's just definitely been a delusion, because I was completely and totally convinced. And my manager, actually, she called me. Oh wait, that's right. That same day that all that shit happened, the coworkers talking shit about me. My manager, I walked by my manager's office, and I saw that there was a guy in a suit sitting there talking to her. And I, like, walked past the office, and I just kind of stopped, like, out of sight, and just, like, listened for a second. And it was definitely an interview. Like, this woman, like, she was interviewing somebody, and I assumed it was for my position. So, to backtrack, fast forward, with that new information. So, my manager calls me into her office, and I was like, well, here it is. This is it. This is how I'm gonna get fired. Let's do it. And she was like, well, I saw that you were leaving early last week, and that you were putting in your vacation hours every single day. Well, I was taking off every single day for at least 1 hour, so I figured I would burn up some of my actual vacation time. And she was like, well, you need to communicate. You have to communicate. And she basically put me on notice, actually, that I had to start communicating with the office, otherwise they were going to fire me. So today, I basically sabotaged myself in a sense. This meeting with her was 2 days ago. So, like, today I called up my psych, and I was like, look, this is the shit that's going on. Like, I can't deal with this paranoia. Like, it's killing me. So he's like, okay, well, I basically asked him about FML, about taking a medical leave from the job for a while, so I can get my head straight. And he's like, well, look, I'll sign your FMLA, and if you want to do the short-term disability, then I will sign that stuff, but you're going to have to start taking Risperdal or Respiradol, whatever it is, like, on a nightly basis. So I agreed with that, and today I walked out. I walked out of that fucking job. Um, it's a $6,000 a year job. I just walked the fuck out. But honestly, I don't really give a shit. Some people think it might be like a career destroying move. I don't. I view it as a sane move on my part to protect myself, and I guess to protect them in some weird fucking bizarre world. Anyway, so there's gonna be a second part to this since it's already 15 minutes in. The next part's gonna be actually about my delusions about being dead and dying. It's such a lovely subject. See you there.